Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and today we're gonna listen to and talk about some Kirby music for the first time in the channel actually. And this is Two Planets Approach the Rock Limit from Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I love Kirby music, but I haven't heard any recent Kirby music in probably over 10 years. Let's go! Oh wow, this is a long track. Oh, I remember this. This is amazing. I've actually just remembered. I've heard this one on a live stream recently. Man, the choirs in this give it such a sense of scale. Amazing. So listen to how funky this sounds. Funky in such a weird way. This is amazing. Okay, so I don't know anything about this game. By the name of the track, I know a little bit about Kirby, right? I grew up playing Kirby. Two planets approach the rock limit. I know usually in Kirby games, usually like the end game of the adventure usually involves like stars and planets and stuff. It's actually quite contrasting to the cutesy nature of Kirby. So I assume this must be like some kind of very important part of the story where the scale of the story has expanded to an absurd degree, as it's usually the case with Kirby games. And the music absolutely gives me that impression. There's a sense of scale, there's a sense of destiny and of epicness. But what's interesting about this is especially this part here. When they introduce the piano, right? Now. And the drums. On the surface, the rhythm here is pretty simple. It's just a 3-beat measure, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But if you listen to it closely, the instruments are doing such complex rhythmic figures here, and there's like a funky sound to it. And when we say funky, usually we associate that with more modern instruments like guitars and bass, right? What's interesting is that they managed to give us this kind of funky rhythmic feeling here with orchestral instruments. And by the way, speaking of orchestral instruments, I remember listening to this in a live stream, and Jesus Christ, these samples that they're using, these orchestral samples, they're not realistic at all. That's obviously a stylistic choice because, you know, this is Nintendo, they have the money to hire like 20 orchestras. But they chose to use these video gamey ass, fake ass strings. Yeah. I don't expect a lot of people will be able to relate to this because this is like too nerdy even for this channel. But doesn't this specific violin sample here? Check this out, it's coming. It's coming. Doesn't this specific violin sample remind you of Wind Waker? I feel like it's probably the exact same violin sample that they're using here. So they're obviously using kind of nostalgic sounds. That is really cool. I really respect that. I really respect when composers are not afraid to make video game music sound video gamey. And here's like the funky orchestral part. There's a sense of epicness and scale in the harmony as well. Listen to the bass. And the choirs, can you hear the choirs? And amazing. There's not much of a melody so far, by the way. There is melody, but the melody is buried under all the rhythmic shenanigans that they're doing. I feel like at this moment the focus is on the rhythm, because you know, with what I know about Kirby, I assume this is an action sequence of some sort, if not maybe a boss theme. So they're focusing on the rhythm, which really gets you pumped up for some kind of action, and also on the harmony, which really has a sense of destiny, a sense of scale, a sense of high stakes in this. The harmony is very interesting here. Check this out, just to give you an example of the kind of scale I'm talking about, the kind of emotional weight. Check this out. Amazing. Did you see all those happy chords? They give you a sense of heroism and of adventure. And listen to the violin now. This almost sounds like improv. Amazing bass. Jesus Christ, this bass. Jesus Christ, I have to listen to this bass again. But anyway, the violin it sounds almost like improv, right? So they're not really worried right now about giving you a theme, a specific melody for you to listen, for you to memorize. They just want to set an atmosphere, a kind of vibe. But Jesus Christ, pay attention to this bass, the slap bass. Oh my god. This melody, vocals, so epic, so epic. So for a second there I had a sensation that there was a more specific melody there. I feel like this is building up to something. Okay, it's getting more somber now. More dangerous. See? More dangerous. Oh wow, very interesting transition. So hold up, you notice I said that this sounds more dangerous, more somber. Why does it sound like that? I'm gonna show you. Remember the previous harmony that I showed you at the beginning of the track where everything was epic and there were a bunch of happy chords with a sense of adventure, a sense of heroism? Now check out this harmony here. Disturbing. So, did you see the disturbing chord? The interesting part is that all the other chords, other than the disturbing chord that I showed you, this one, all the other chords were also present in the previous Adventures harmony. It goes to show how much the inclusion of one single chord can change completely the vibe of the song. So they simply introduced one very disturbing chord to the harmony. This one sounds ugly, right? And that single chord transforms the sensation, the vibe of the track. It sounds more dangerous, more somber. They're building up. Oh man! Amazing harmony. Amazing, man. I'm wondering now. This is amazing, man. Jesus Christ, I'm speechless. I'm wondering now if this is a multi-phase boss battle, because this sounds radically different. Up until now, I was actually finding it kind of weird that the song is so long and I wasn't noticing any loop points. You know, in video game music, video game composers usually craft the songs with loop points in mind. Loop points are parts of the song where that specific part is crafted meticulously so that it can seamlessly go back right to the beginning very seamlessly without anyone noticing, right? For that to work, the loop point of the track, right? The end of the track has to be identical to the beginning. So when it loops back, it doesn't sound jarring. It doesn't sound noticeable. I wasn't noticing any loop points in this track. Of course, loop points are supposed to be hidden, so it could be that I just didn't notice them. But when there are no loop points in a track like this and the track is so long, like 8 minutes, it makes me think that this might be like a long scripted 8-minute sequence, like maybe some kind of boss battle that is somehow on rails or is scripted somehow. But now that I hear this new part with the drums, I'm thinking this could be a second phase that triggers as you get to a certain part of the action. This harmony is so good, man. Oh! And they raised the key. Very cool. So even though they are using, remember at the beginning I told you, I love when composers are not afraid of making the music sound video gamey. They're using real instruments, like really recorded instruments and real voices, like real vocals, but they are sampling, even the instruments that are real and the voice that is real, they are sampling it. Sampling means that they just record it and they put it on a computer and they modify it and they add it in a million ways with computers and with keyboards like this. So, you know, the voice sounds real up until the point where it does this. Right? Yeah, the sampled lady. Yeah, there she goes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure real women don't do that. They keep doing these very strong epic resolutions. So glorious, man. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Now the guitar is going crazy. But check this out. I was talking about the epic resolutions and how they are hyping up this part of the song. It feels like they're increasing the stakes and increasing the sense of scale and the sense of epicness. Listen to the emphasis they're giving to this home chord. There's a sense of fate, of destiny. Man, God, I can only imagine what is going on in this action sequence. Knowing Kirby is probably something insane. The bass in this part is very interesting as well. Did you see how the bass is going down, steadily going down? It's a long string of bass notes. It feels like you're going on a journey, on an adventure. So now, remember, I was talking about loop points before. Now there's a very evident loop point here, especially because the song is repeating, right? We can tell the song is repeating. So I wasn't noticing that before in the first phase. So maybe it's a long scripted first phase, and then in the second phase, it's more open to player interaction, and they need to loop the track. This track was suggested on Patreon by Ikoriha. Hooray, Ikoriha! And hey, if you like Kirby music, chances are you're a big old Nintendo music nerd like me. I have a bunch of other videos on Nintendo music over here and a bunch of other videos on basically all the other video game companies under the sun. So you can check these out over here, and remember, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I'll see you there.